Good morning. Today I am walking you guys through a full day of eating on my new diet protocol to heal my skin, and I'll be walking you through like the actual diet protocol and what it is and the things that I'm eating and all of that good stuff. Little bit of background for anyone who is new around here. I have been dealing with skin issues mostly my whole life. From the time I was like 5-ish, my skin has just kind of had like atopic dermatitis, eczema-like symptoms. My theory is I have celiac disease, so skin issues with undiagnosed celiac disease, extremely common. And so my theory is that's what caused my skin issues growing up, and I ended up on topical steroids to help treat the skin issues, and those caused a whole host of other issues, mostly topical steroid withdrawal, which I went through 2019 through 2020. And in theory, I managed to heal from that, which is great, because it sucked. But now, since then, essentially, my skin has still had the same issues that I had before I went on topical steroids, because obviously the topical steroids did not cure me, they were just covering up the underlying issue. So a couple of weeks ago, I decided that it was time to re-embark on a skin healing journey and attempt to heal the underlying cause of my skin issues once and for all. Because honestly, I am sick of just living in constant discomfort and pain, and I shouldn't have to live like that. No one should have to live like that. And so I started working with a company called Well Theory, and I was paired with one of their dietitians, and so she has given me a new diet protocol to follow to help me heal my skin. And so over the last like 2 weeks, I've kind of been easing into the new diet, just eating through all of the stuff that I had in my fridge that is not compliant with the diet, and then working on like transitioning into this new diet. And I'm finally like, I feel like I'm pretty fully transitioned into diet, so I figured I'd walk you guys through that today. So that said, let's go start my day off with a little beverage, and I'll tell you all about all the things that I'm eating. The diet protocol that I have been given is an animal-based diet. This doesn't mean a carnivore diet. I'm not eating nothing but meat. It's just that the basis of my diet will be built around meat and animal products. And there's a couple big reasons why she recommended this diet for me. In no particular order, first is that an animal-based diet is very rich in bioavailable protein. Bioavailability just kind of refers to how much of a specific micro or macronutrient that your body can actually utilize and absorb from what you're consuming. And the amount of amino acids, which are building blocks of protein, that your body can break down and utilize and synthesize from meat is higher than the amount you would get from a plant-based protein source. And protein intake and utilization is extremely important in skin health, because amino acids are the building blocks essentially of your skin barrier. If you're not getting in enough protein, your body's gonna have trouble maintaining your skin health. And if there are existing skin issues that your body is trying to repair, you may need even more protein to help your body repair it. So I will be getting the majority of my protein through animal products, and she wants me to aim for 115 grams of protein, which is my body weight in protein. And some of you might be saying, but Marissa, you always recommend 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. Why would you be eating your entire body weight in protein? My general recommendation for protein is usually based on an aesthetic goal. So if you are trying to build muscle or lose fat, that's what I recommend. That doesn't necessarily apply to any and all circumstances. And then the second big reason for following an animal-based diet is mostly to cut out other things in my diet that may be negatively contributing to my skin health or my gut health or my inflammation, or just negatively affecting whatever the underlying cause is. Cleo, what are you doing? No, don't claw on the chair, please. Thank you. Hey, so I've talked about this quite a bit before, but plants essentially can be hormetic stressors or positive stressors for a lot of people. There's a lot of phytochemicals in plants like oxalates and phytates and things that for healthy people in appropriate quantities are hormetic stressors. They're gonna have a positive effect on the body. But if you have underlying health issues, then these small stressors might actually just add to the stress and result in a net negative effect. It's just the same as exercise or cold plunging. Those are both hormetic stressors where, again, for a healthy person in appropriate doses, fantastic. But if someone is like super sick, then doing a normal amount of exercise might be way too much for their body. Same thing with certain plant foods. So with this diet, I'm essentially eliminating any plant that may be contributing negatively to my symptoms. And then lastly, this diet is recommended because kind of taking into account that I have autoimmunity already. I have celiac disease. For people with autoimmunity, this can be a really kind of powerful way to help the body heal from that, help repair any gut issues that may be lingering because of it. This is obviously not medical advice, but there is a very good track record of people with autoimmunity eating animal-based-ish like this and being able to at least heal some of their symptoms. So if my skin is autoimmune at all, this should help. But for now, I think I'm gonna finish this and then make some breakfast. And breakfast is served. I have 4 hard-boiled eggs with some salt and just a smidge of pepper, some chopped up Canadian bacon, a little bit of raw goat milk cheddar cheese, and then 2 golden kiwis. In preparing for doing this diet, I went on YouTube and watched a lot of other people's like what I eat in a diet animal-based videos, and they all looked like really boring and sad, and I was like, I don't want to do that to myself, so this is me making an effort to like make it not boring and sad, and to me this looks freaking bomb, so I'm excited about it. So breakfast wise for me right now, this is kind of my go-to. This and my chocolate frosty smoothie bowl that has been somewhat heavily modified. I'm trying to lean away from that because I still do use protein powder in it. I got a new whey protein because I usually use plant-based protein, but clearly on an animal-based diet, I should be using animal-based protein. So I've kind of been alternating between that and something like this. Oh, and then it's also important to note that I put collagen in my coffee. And like before this diet, I would have done that anyway. I usually add collagen to my fun functional morning beverage when I can. But adding in collagen and gelatin is actually much more important on a diet like this. And this is because you really want to make sure that you have a balance of amino acids in your body, and if that amino acid intake gets imbalanced, it can potentially cause some issues. So glycine, which is the main amino acid in collagen, and it is kind of a conditionally essential amino acid. So we can synthesize it in the body, but in some cases when you're recovering from like tissue injury or trying to heal your skin barrier, the demand for glycine might be out of balance with the supply, and so you need to make sure you're getting more of it. And also, the more meat you eat, the more glycine your body utilizes. So in increasing my intake of meat, my body is automatically going to be using more glycine, and so I need to add more glycine in the form of collagen or gelatin in order to maintain that balance. And there's a lot of speculation in the health community, and particularly in the animal-based community, that the increased intake in methionine, which is a amino acid that's high in muscle meat, combined with an inadequate intake of glycine may be partially at play when it comes to why sometimes we can see higher meat diets not necessarily being correlated with higher health outcomes. For example, there's a recent study that showed that the relationship between increased red meat intake and increased incidence of diabetes was essentially non-existent when controlled for low glycine levels. So essentially anyone who was eating a large amount of red meat and had adequate glycine levels did not develop diabetes, or at least there was no like statistically relevant correlation. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Like evolutionarily, we would have been eating nose to tail. We would have been eating the parts of the animal that gave us enough of the other amino acids to maintain the balance that we need. So all this is to say, I am proactively adding collagen and gelatin into my diet, and I'm also taking organ meat supplements and getting organ meats into my diet when I can. So I just went to grab a coconut water, and that reminded me that I wanted to talk about hydration and supplements, because that is also a part of the protocol that I am following. So hydration wise, she really wants me to prioritize drinking enough, which to be fair, very smart idea. I don't drink enough. If there's one fitness habit that I really struggle with, it's drinking.
Enough water, not too much alcohol.
So I'm not aiming for anything crazy. I'm aiming for half my body weight in ounces. So for the sake of like easy numbers and making it easier to keep track of, I'm aiming for about 64 ounces of
hydration.
Not necessarily like pure water, but like hydrating beverages. Because that means I can fill up my big like 32-ounce bottle once and drink all of that, and then I can have like half of these and a kombucha and my evening hydration beverage that I like to have, and then that usually gets me to like close to 64. But the thing that my dietitian really wants me to focus on is not having plain water. And this is because water is a lot more hydrating when there are minerals, particularly electrolytes in it. So things like coconut water, really good. This is very high in potassium, which is an electrolyte. And then when I do drink regular water, I add the Symbiotica Pure Hydration Packets, which I actually just ran out of, so I need to order more. I have been going through those like crazy because they're essentially Symbiotica's version of electrolytes. And then I also add in a packet of their vitamin C. That's less so for hydration, more so because vitamin C is important and it also can help with skin. And then I've also been adding in their vitamin D3 because vitamin D is very important in synthesis of different components that play a part in skin barrier health. And then at night I've been making my evening elixir, which is just the Ned Mallow magnesium to get more magnesium, and then adding in the Symbiotica molecular hydrogen, as well as usually like a pinch of salt. So really doing everything I can to not only drink enough fluids, but optimize the absorption and utilization of those fluids within my body. Hydration is just so important in like so many processes of the body. Like your body cannot function without being properly hydrated. Also, when your skin looks like this and is super dehydrated, kind of makes sense to focus on hydration. So then supplement wise, that's honestly a lot of the supplements that I'm taking anyway. I don't think I can go through all of them right now because honestly I'm just starting this. I don't even know if it's going to work. So like once I figure out what's working for me, I'll kind of walk you guys through like what supplements I think are actually benefiting my body the most. But in addition to the electrolyte supplement, the vitamin C, the vitamin D, I'm also taking the adrenal super tonic from Symbiotica just to like support my adrenals, support my stress response and all of that, because stress absolutely triggers flares in my skin. And also in that vein, I'm continuing to take my CBD. I've been taking the Ned Sleep Blend before I go to sleep at night, taking quercetin to help with my histamine response, which I talked about 2 videos ago. I'm pretty sure I have some amount of histamine intolerance, and quercetin is really helpful for like a natural allergy treatment. Continuing to take my seed probiotic, and I'm also taking a glutamine, and then I'm also taking an organ supplement. So a supplement that has like essentially powdered like liver and heart and kidney, and I don't know what's in it, but organates. And I think it's worth mentioning that like half of the supplements, more than half of the supplements that I'm taking are from Symbiotica. Big shout out to them for sponsoring this video, but like I've been taking their stuff forever and I absolutely love it. And when I told my practitioner that like that was a brand that I took regularly, she was like, fantastic, love it. She knew that they are a good quality supplement company. She was like, absolutely, like keep taking those, which I think just kind of goes to show that their reputation precedes them for a reason. Like if any of you are looking for good quality supplements, because there's such a disparity in quality of supplements out there. Like I know so many people try different healing protocols for different things and they go on all of these supplements, but it doesn't really work. And oftentimes a big reason for that is that the supplements themselves are just low quality. And this can mean a bunch of different things. It could mean, you know, the sourcing isn't great, and so even the original ingredients are not as potent as they could be, or the extraction process or whatever process they use to, you know, distill down the thing or create the supplement, maybe that's not done in a way that maintains the quality of the ingredients. Oftentimes the way supplements are processed just like degrades the vitamins and minerals themselves, and so even if you start with like a certain amount, by the time you get to the actual supplement that is being bottled, there's really not much left that's usable for the body. And then there's also like different delivery methods that can be used. So like one of the things that Symbiotica does that I love is this one, liposomal. Yeah, so a lot of their supplements use liposomal delivery. And what this means is essentially like, this is the vitamin D, the like molecules of vitamin D are surrounded by a phospholipid bilayer that protects the actual vitamins as it goes through your system and gets it to where it needs to be to optimize absorption. And so you could take, you know, what is this? This is 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 in 1 serving of this. If you take 5,000 IUs of liposomal vitamin D, you're gonna absorb a lot more of it than if you take 5,000 IUs of a non-liposomal vitamin D, which most vitamin Ds that you find are not liposomal delivery. So like, even though it's the same amount listed on the bottle, the amount that your body is going to be able to absorb and actually utilize can vary widely depending on how the vitamins and minerals are sourced and processed and packaged. Symbiotica just does a freaking amazing job of doing everything to the highest quality so that you are getting as much out of each supplement as possible. So like, I don't know about you, but I'd rather not waste my money on cheap supplements that I'm not really gonna absorb or be able to utilize much of anyway. Like that is, it's an unfortunate waste of money because most people don't know that there's actually like such a difference in what your body's going to be able to use when it comes to the supplements. And so like I was saying, people that are following protocols, following whatever, and using supplements to achieve some goal will often find that they aren't getting the results that they're after because their supplements are just not doing the job that they're hoping that they are. So all this is to say, if any of you are looking for like high quality supplements that are actually going to deliver the nutrients that they say that they are and give you the most amount of bioavailable nutrients that you're looking for, then I highly recommend checking out Symbiotica. They have a bunch of different stuff for a bunch of different health goals and a lot of the more like basic vitamins and minerals like a vitamin D, a zinc, magnesium, etc. So if you do want to check them out, which I obviously highly recommend, you can use the code FIT15 to get yourself 15% off of any of the products. I'll leave a link down in the description box below. Definitely go check them out to just peruse their selection, see if there's anything that you feel called to, anything that may support your body in where you're at in your journey right now. And guaranteed it's gonna be some of the best quality supplements that you're gonna be able to find for whatever that goal may be. I'm out for a wee little walk before going to the grocery store, so I figured I would walk you through the like staples of my diet. So as this is an animal-based diet, the first thing on my list is animal-based foods. So I'm gonna just throw it up on the screen here so you guys can just see it as opposed to me just like reading everything. But essentially when it comes to animal products, we have all your typical things: ground meat, different steaks, eggs, bacon, fishy stuff, chicken. And then I can also have dairy. I'm not lactose intolerant in any way, shape, or form. If I were, probably wouldn't be eating dairy, but I tolerate dairy well, so that is also a part of my diet. And then when it comes to plant foods, pretty much all fruit is okay, including avocado, thank God. And then my dietitian also recommended I throw in some papaya and pineapple because they have enzymes in them that help break down meat, which will enhance the absorption of the micronutrients that I'm trying to get from it. And then vegetable wise, I can essentially have any vegetables that are technically like botanically fruits, so things like cucumber, eggplants, etc. I can have any squash and any root vegetables. And then other extra stuff that just didn't fit into any of those lists, in particular white rice. I've made a decision to soak my rice when I make rice because that helps reduce the phytic acid. She didn't say I had to do that, but I'm doing it for funsies. And then also any fermented vegetables, even if they're not on the like approved vegetable list, are fine because the fermentation decreases the phytotoxins. And then basically I'm eliminating everything else. So grains, beans, seeds, nuts, seed oils, refined sugar, artificial sweeteners, all of that kind of stuff. And now that I actually read this list out loud, I feel like to most people this is gonna sound super restrictive and like insane. First and foremost, at this point, I don't care. I want my skin to be healthy. Like, I would go 100% carnivore if I knew that it was going to help me heal my body. Like, this isn't about me being able to enjoy food. This is about me being able to enjoy life because I'm not in constant discomfort and pain because of my skin. So for me, any amount of restriction would be worth it. But also, that said, like, most of these foods on the like approved list are the staples in my diet anyway, like the diet that I genuinely enjoy. So when she first recommended this, like no part of my brain was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so hard, I'm gonna feel so restricted. I was like, great, I get to eat all of my favorite foods.
This is fine.
And then additionally, while I do plan on sticking to this diet as well as I can and doing the full Marissa thing and just kind of going all in, I'm not like only restricting myself to only these things and being super uptight about it. Like, I'm still gonna give myself some flexibility, because the point here is not like I'm eliminating foods that I'm actively intolerant to or foods that are actively bad. I am just reducing the amount of things in my diet that could be causing issues and increasing the amount of things in my diet that are going to be beneficial. And so, you know, if I throw in a piece of broccoli, it's not a big deal. And if at any point I really want to have a pizza, I'll have a pizza. So to me, no foods are off limits. It's just a matter of asking myself, if I want something, like, is the experience of this food worth more to me than getting to where I want to be with my skin and with my health? And at some points, it may be more worth it.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So I figured I'd give you guys a super quick grocery haul. Got more eggs because I only have 3 hard-boiled ones left. More cheese, some regeneratively sourced bacon. Got some steaks. And then I also got some ground meat in the form of ground bison. This is the ancestral blend. So this one not only has ground bison, but it also has bison liver and bison heart. So like I said, trying to get in those organ meats. This is one of my favorite ways to do it, is getting ground meat blends that already have organ meats in it, because you can't taste it and you get the organ meats. It's great. And then I also got some patties. This is just regular beef, not with organ meats. My preference is for steak because I think it's so much more delicious, but ground beef is so much cheaper and it's a great way for me to get in my organ meat. So I have been mostly relying on ground beef and then just throwing in steaks on days that I want to be fancy. And then vegetable wise, I got my root vegetables, I got my squashes. We got some sweet potato, a purple sweet potato, honey nut squash, which I just got so happy when I saw this in the grocery store because these are so cute and I love them. And then a delicata squash. So I think tonight I'm probably just gonna make like veggie fries. Just gonna cut some of this, some of this, some of this, and some of this up into strips and roast it, or steam it and roast it, I don't know. And then beverage wise, I got some kombucha, of course, and coconut water, of course. And now it is dinner time. This is what we got for dinner tonight. I made a pack of the ancestral blend ground bison, so this has some liver and heart in it. I had a little bit of leftover steak from last night, so I heated that up. A couple days ago, I made a huge batch of turmeric rice made with beef broth. It's just rice, beef broth, and just a sprinkle of turmeric. And then the steamed, then roasted veg and some beet sauerkraut. I am quite excited to eat this. Oh, also, I forgot, I have a hack for making ground beef a little bit more flavorful, and somehow I think it maintains more moisture. I could just be crazy. It could just be the better flavor, but coconut aminos in the ground beef. Game changer. So, as I said, trying to eat more collagen and gelatin, and so last night I attempted for the first time ever to make marshmallows. So my plan for dessert is actually just to eat as many of these as I can to get some good quality gelatin in my body. And that is my diet protocol to help heal my skin. I guess one last somewhat important note is I am not doing a low carb diet. My dietitian actively wants me to make sure I'm eating at least 150 grams of carbs. You could easily do an animal-based diet and go low carb, but that is not the goal here. So this is what my diet's gonna look like for the next few weeks. For a while. Let me know if you have any questions about it, or if you have done a diet like this and have any specific like food recommendations, food combo recommendations, any food inspo for an animal-based diet would be much appreciated. But in the meantime, I hope you guys liked this video. Do make sure you check out Symbiotica if you are in the market for some good quality supplements. Again, my code FIT15 will get you 15% off. And if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your gym buddies. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. To see future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye!